Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So some people were asking about the notebook check. Go ahead and copy down the 2 problems while I talk to you about that. When I was walking around, in all honesty, most of your notebooks are so unorganized that I could not figure out how to check them. They were just kind of all over the place, random pieces of paper everywhere, and it's not something that I want to spend time on teaching you guys how to make a notebook and all that kind of stuff. That's not one of the purposes right now. So what I need you to do is, starting this week, I'm just going to check homework every day like what I did in the past. That seemed to go just fine. We had a really good homework participation rate, and last week, a lot of people didn't do homework. So I'm going to check it every day. I'm going to walk around, make sure you're taking notes. Most of you do anyway. So what we're doing for last week is we're just going to kind of just gloss over it, and we're going to move on to this week. As long as you were here, I'll give you points for your homework. Right? As long as you were here, I'll give you points for your homework. Because you know, have an opportunity to check that. So, but here's what I do need. Those quizzes weren't so hot, so I need focus here. For number 1, I want you to use substitution. Substitution, I need you to identify the lonely variable, plug it in, and solve for both x and y. For number 2, for elimination, you need to get, remember we talked about, we call it the inverse. Right, we need a negative, positive of the same value in one, on the top equation, the bottom equation, so we can eliminate. I'm giving you quite a bit of time. I'm going to get probably about 6 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. So get y by itself. No, there's an x plus 6. Yep. You're going to get y equals so the second one I want you to use elimination. So the first one use substitution, the second one use elimination. You said Miss Lucas, Jonathan? Hey, Linda, Ben Childers, sorry. Hey, Jonathan, send down your way, okay? Yep. Okay, Jonathan, sorry. Once you have number 1 done, your clickers are turned on. So go ahead and enter in your response to number 1. Once you are done. Go ahead and enter in. So about 2 minutes of work time going on. Everything should come out nice and tidy. Okay, folks, I can have your attention, please. Thank you so much. All right, so for problem number 1, this is a substitution problem. In substitution, what is my cue that I can do substitution on this problem? What? Single variable. Yeah, I have a single variable, right? I have the y by itself. So what I do is I want to get, there's a 1 in front of the y. Remember we had this song about 1 is the loneliest number sang to us.
Well done.
Thank you, Julian. Right, and so what we want to do is we want to get that y by itself. Right now, it doesn't have a coefficient, that's great, but there's a 6 being added to it. Right, so the inverse operation of addition would be what, Angel? I get rid of that plus 6. Yeah, I want to subtract 6 from both sides. So now I have y equals 3x minus 6. All right, so now that I know what y equals, what I want to do is I want to take this value right here of 3x minus 6, I want to plug it into the other equation for y. When I do that, my new equation here in blue is negative 4x plus 2 times 3x minus 6 equals negative 8. So from here, what's my first step in simplifying this problem? Josh, what's my first step in simplifying this problem? Yeah, rainbow thing, we'll distribute. Let's call it distribute. We get negative 4x plus 6x minus 12 equals negative 8. My next step in simplifying will be what? Therefore, my next step is? Yeah, so let's add 12 to both sides of the equation here. So I have negative 4x plus 6x equals positive 4. What should I do next? Missy, what should I do next? Yeah, let's combine our like terms. We get positive 2x equals 4. And to end this, we just divide by 2. We would get x equals 2. That's great. I got a value for x. Am I done with my problem? No, I'm not. All right. So remember, we always want to get an x comma y here. So I have my x, but I need my y. What am I going to do to get my y value? Emmett, what am I going to do? Yeah, we're going to plug our x value in. So let's just plug 2 in this equation right here. So we get y equals 3 times 2 minus 6. So I get y equals 6 minus 6. So I get y equals 0. So my final answer should be what? Vivian, what's my final answer? Other way around. 2 comma 0. You're right first. Okay. It happens to be. Alright, let's go ahead and let's see what we got here today. Well, that's okay. We're not discriminating on when you're allowed to do it. Oh, okay. And then 24 and 10. You did it wrong. What thing did you do wrong for? Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Alright, great. So that was problem number 1. Alright, so let's take a look at problem number 2. So in this problem, you could have used substitution. I asked you to use elimination. If I was going to eliminate this, what I would do is I would multiply the bottom by -5. When I multiply the bottom by -5, let's use the dotted line here. Show the word infinity. I get negative 5x plus 16y equals negative 35. Because I'm going to get rid of the x's here. And so I need a positive 5x and a negative 5x. So to use elimination, you have to have a negative and a positive. Because you need one of the variables to drop out. So I like to cross off whatever I modify so I don't get confused. So now, just like I was talking with Vivian about, what we do then is we want to add these two equations together. Well, positive 5x minus 5x is 0. Positive 2y plus 15y is positive 17y. And positive 1 plus negative 35 is negative 33. I can divide by 17, divide by 17, I get y equals negative. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. Right, now that we have our one value, right, we have x comma y. I have x comma negative 2. What's up, pal? Negative 3 for y? I'm not sure, but we're going to get there. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to tell me what do you think the answer is. What do you think the value is for x? So we just talked about in the last one how to get our missing value. So go ahead and click in what you think the value for x is going to be. I need about, let's say 20 more seconds to do these little math. About 10 seconds or so. So here's an input plugged into your clicker. Yeah? Come on now. 34 divided by 17? You had negative 4 for y, Betsy? You multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 2. Well, let me finish mine real quick, and then we'll do the other way. So let's plug a negative 2 into this equation. We get 5x plus 2 times negative 2 equals 1. We get 5x plus negative 4 equals 1. We want to add 4 to both sides, and I get 5x equals 5. Divided by 5, x equals 1. So I got 1 comma negative 2. Let's look at it by getting rid of the y. Alright, so we're going to multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 2. Our two new equations are going to be 15x plus 6y equals 3. And on bottom I get 2x minus 6y equals 14. When I add these together, I get 17x. Those cancel out, equals 17. I want to divide both sides by 17. I get x equals 1. So I want to take 1 and plug it back in here. So I get 1 minus 3y equals 8. I want to subtract them. What's up? Oh, 7. I want to subtract 1 from both sides. I get negative 3y equals positive 6. I divide by negative 3. I get y equals negative 7. I got the answer doing the same, doing it both ways. Well, it's easier? They're both the same. This one you had to multiply 2, I only multiplied 1. But if it looks easier and you're going to do it, then I want you to do it. So Betsy, do you see what went wrong? What did you do? Oh, okay. So did you get, so you got x equals 1. Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's do that first one. We're just going to plug it back in. Any other questions on this one? Kyle, did you see what has happened? So, what we're working on today? Can't quite see that on me. Alright, so today is Monday, and this is going to be chapter 4, lesson 2. We're going to spend we're going to spend 3 days, once again, on this stuff. And I think we're going to go nice and slow today. We'll probably just end up doing about 1 problem today. We'll do 1 problem today. You'll do 1 problem for homework tonight. And tomorrow, the next day, we'll probably do a little group work tomorrow, a little individual work on Wednesday on solving these problems. These problems get big. They take a lot of time. So solution to a system of 3 linear equations and 3 variables. So we're going to have an x, a y, and a z is an ordered triple. And I decided to pull up some visuals for you so you had an idea of what we're talking about. All right, so if a linear equation with 2 variables makes a line, what would a linear equation with 3 variables make? What shape do you think it's going to make? Fine, that's good. What else might it make? Anybody have a good guess? Triangle is not far off, I can tell you that. Well, you did 3 points, right? Because you're thinking like 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah. Evan? An angle, okay, I can say like 1, 2, 3. Alright, anybody else got something? Alright, so yeah, we could make a triangle with 3 points. In fact, what we're going to make is we're going to make planes. Alright, so let's zoom in on these, just take a look. We personally will not be making any of these. Let's take a look what we got here. So you can see here. Here, I have a plane. It has 2 dimensions. It has this width here, this length. It goes from top to bottom diagonally. I have a second plane down here. It goes from bottom to top. And then I have a plane that cuts right through the middle. So you can see these 3 planes, there's plane number 1, plane number 2, and plane number 3, they all intersect at 1 point. They intersect right there in the middle. Right? So think about like 3 sheets of paper. If you lay them like that, they intersect at 1 point. Here we can see we have plane number 1, plane number 2, and plane number 3, and they intersect here at this line. Right? They come together and they form that 1 line. This right here, you can see numbers 1 and 2, well, they intersect. 3 and 1 intersect right here. And 2 and 3 intersect right here. But all 3 planes never intersect at the exact same point. And our last one here, we can see plane 1 intersects plane 2 and intersects plane 3, but nowhere do they all intersect at the same point. Would anyone have a description, a nice word that you would use to describe the relationship between those three planes? They are. They're parallel. Right? They never intersect. They're parallel. Just like parallel lines don't intersect, parallel planes do not. Once again, I just wanted to give you a quick visual so you had an idea of what we're going to be doing. So what we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about these different kind of intersections. So to start today, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to copy down the 4 steps to solving a system of 3 linear equations by elimination. Alright, so you probably need, definitely within the rest, this is going to be solving a system with 3 planes in 3 dimensions. Yeah. Oh, if you want to search for the videos that I post, just go to YouTube and type in Mr. Chills. And it's the top link because I now post enough videos that I'm open. Yeah, just go to Mr. Chills really quick. A lot of the geometry is watching. I don't know. I think give me like a month or 2 more people to get into it. I think it'll happen. I don't know. There's some good math people. I'm sure do a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, it is public, so I mean anybody come on there. So I'll be watching out for trolls. In case you need this information, you're too lazy to look at my piece of paper I put up for you. I did write down 3 teams this week: Tuesday with Salcedo, Wednesday with Molenkamp and Capelli, 3 tests: Tuesday, Ben and Molenkamp, Wednesday, Childress Aldrich, Thursday, Jersey Club. Alright, so this is next week. So I can say that everyone's grade across the board, I've yet to have someone retest and do worse. Alright? 1 quiz is going to kill you. You have 1 bad one, no big deal. You really don't have to do it. But if you're in like those low 60s, high 50s, right, you're borderline passing, come and retake it. We're here. That's why we have it. We have it to help you out. Come back in.
The progress report is average with the 9-week grade, or is it just?
Every grade builds on itself. So progress 2 will have quarter 1 and progress 1 in it. Okay?
I just put my Walmart is taking layaway for the Wii U. So I just got my Wii U on layaway. It's awesome. So November 18th. It just so happens that Liz is going out of town to one of her best friend's weddings, so we don't have enough money for us to both go. So she's flying out to New York to go to a wedding. But it's that weekend, the weekend the Nintendo Wii U comes out. So I'm just going to play all weekend when she's gone. If I'm not here on Monday, you'll know why, because I'm still playing the Wii U. So that'll be November 19th.
I haven't seen it yet, so I missed Game 3.
It's all, you gotta look at the trailer. It's sweet. Yeah.
What's the Wii U?
You know what the Wii is?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the new generation console, and it has the new controller that it has. It's pretty much like playing video games using an iPad, but you're interacting with your television with the iPad. So it has buttons on it as well, like the controller. Like, it is ridiculous. Just go online and just...
It sounds like one of those,
Yeah, you can take the game with you. There's like a little, and like if you have like an inventory, like in this game, you can like pull the inventory up on the controller to like select through things. And there's this one you gotta watch the preview for Zombie U. It's a zombie game. And like you're like running, right, and you're crouching down and you're like looking through your bag, your character is, but you're like searching through, like on the Wii U thing, but it's on the television as well. You're looking through your bag, like looking for like the shotgun you need to pull out. Or if you like need to enter a code in, like the keypad pops up on the Wii U, and you have to like, it's touchscreen, just like type in on it. Oh man, it looks like I'm a super nerd. Oh man. We could lose the rest of the day talking about it.
I think we did a whole night of researching and did.
Yeah, I've done weeks with the children's thing.
Same thing.
But I was really glad I finally got a pre-order. It took me a while to get interact. Yeah, I'll be at the Walmart over by Foothills Mall, 1201. I'll wait for you. I'll see that. Start reading the book.
You have to stand out.
Alright folks, go ahead and copy down this problem. We have 3x minus y plus z equals negative 15. So this is obviously, this is the first time that we're seeing this third variable introduced. What we're going to do is we're probably going to spend the rest of the period, we got about 10 minutes or so, working through just this one problem. Alright? They do take quite a while. This evening you will just have one problem for homework to do some practice on. And like I said, we'll probably do some group work tomorrow, and on Wednesday we'll come back with individual work, assuming you can't get the thing nailed down. Try a couple. So, and the reason that we did chapter 4, unit 1 first was because we needed to use both substitution and elimination to do this. Alright, so that's why we had to work on those skills. Alright, so, from your notes, or from the board, you can see steps 1 through 4 over there on the left-hand side of the board. Left-hand side of left-hand side of the board. So that way you don't have to flip back and forth. That way I don't have to flip back and forth. And those will be there up until we take a quiz over it, in which case they will not be there. But it's just 4 steps, so we're probably going to work through about 8 or 9 of these over the next couple of days. So you'll have them down by then. Alright, so step number 1, we want to write each equation in the standard form, ax plus by plus cz equals b. We can see all 3 of these are done, your homework tonight, and almost all ones we're going to do are done. We can see right here we have x first, followed by y, z, and then a constant, x, y, z constant, x, y, z constant. Alright, so step number 1 is done. We're good. Now we go on to step number 2. Alright, what I'm going to do is I am going to number these in different colors. Number 1 is going to be red. Number 2 is going to be blue. And number 3 is going to be purple. I'm doing this to kind of help you follow along with me as I'm going. Alright, so step number 1 says, choose a pair of equations and eliminate a variable. Now there's a very obvious choice here. There's a very obvious choice here. Betsy, what 2 equations should we choose to eliminate one of the variables? One of them is sitting there. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. Get rid of me. Yeah, we want to use 1 and 2, right? Because we have a plus 1z and a minus 1z. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite these over here. I'm going to write the first one in red. We have 3x minus y plus z equals negative 15. And then in blue, I have x plus 2y minus z equals 1. All right, I'm going to try to put lines through my z's, that way I don't use these more. All right, so this is an elimination problem. So all I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to solve yet for any variables. I'm just trying to get rid of a variable. So you can see when I add these two together, I'm going to get 3x plus 1x is 4x. I have negative 1y plus 2y is 1y. I have positive z plus negative z is 0. And I have negative 15 plus 1 is negative 14. That's also number 2 asks us to do. This is choose a pair of equations. We chose 1 and 2, or red and blue. All right, and eliminate a variable. We eliminated z. All right, so number 3 says choose any other pair of equations. So we can't use 1 and 2. We either need to use 1 and 3 or 2 and 3. And eliminate the same variables in step number 2. In step number 2, we eliminated the z. So in step number 3, we're going to eliminate the z. So the question is, which of these equations do we want to use? Vivian, which 2 equations do you want to use? We got to get rid of z. Sure. Yeah, that was good. Let's get rid of 1 and 3. We can see we have a positive z and a negative z. Before we can get rid of 1, we're going to have to manipulate 1 a little bit. Because right now we have a positive 1z, and we need a positive 2z. Oh, because I delta multiplied by, right? Yeah. So all we have to do is need to multiply this top equation by 2. So now I get 6x minus 2y plus 2z equals negative 30. And then Vivian said she wanted to use the third equation. So we're going to use that. We're going to write it right underneath. We're going to write 2x plus 3y minus 2z equals. Once again, I'm going to cross off the equation that I manipulated so I don't confuse myself. Alright, so once again, I just want to combine these two. 6x plus 2x is 8x. Negative 2y plus 3y is plus y. Positive 2z minus 2z is 0. And negative 30 plus 0 equals negative. I now have 2 brand new equations. You can see they're both here in black. So, using my 2 new equations instead of before, I want to solve for the value of the variable. So this is like what we've been doing. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this over here. I'm going to copy over 8x plus y equals negative 30. For elimination to work, what do I have to have? For elimination to work, what do I have to have? Josh, do I have? Oh, Josh from here, sorry. Josh from here. I don't want to call you that. DJ, what do I have to have? For elimination to work. Yeah, I need a positive and negative. Making it easy, let's multiply the top one by negative 1. So my new equation is going to be negative 4x minus y equals 4. Once again, I always cross off what I just manipulated. So when you combine these, you get 4x equals negative 16. Go ahead and tell me in the clicker. 4x equals negative 15. What does x equal? Just get that copy down.
This is meticulous, it's difficult, takes time to get through.
Oh, let's say about 10 more seconds. Alright, if you haven't clicked in, you got about 8 seconds. Just like, alright. It's 3 people. So it was 4. We divide both sides by 4. The majority of you were correct. We do get a negative 4. So now I have negative 4. Let's go ahead. Let's get y real quick. I want to take negative 4, and I want to plug it in for x. So I get negative 4 times negative 4 minus y equals 14. So I get positive 16 minus y equals 14. I want to subtract 16 from both sides of my equation. I get negative y equals negative 2. I want to divide by negative 1. I get y equals 2. So x equals negative 4, y equals 2. The last step is I want to plug negative 4. Give me 10 more seconds here, okay? I need to plug negative 4 in for x, 2 in for y, back into one of these original equations. Go ahead, give tonight one problem a try. Number 15 is already up on Synergy, and we will start with that tomorrow. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Could I get a printout of the homework?